Have you ever wandered into a forest at night with just the moonlight to guide your way? Meet Maya, a brave little girl who's about to discover a secret garden that only appears when the moon is watching. But there's just one problem. No one knows where it is. Will Maya find it? Let's join her and find out. It was a quiet evening in a little village nestled among rolling green hills. As the sun sank below the horizon, the sky turned shades of orange and purple, and tiny stars began to twinkle. Maya stood at the edge of her village, clutching her lantern tightly. The villagers often whispered about a magical garden hidden deep within the woods, a garden said to glow brighter than the stars. No one had ever found it. Maya, with her curious eyes and adventurous heart, thought, what if I'm the one who finds it? With one last glance back at her cozy home, she stepped into the shadowy forest, her lantern casting a small circle of light on the mossy ground. The forest was quiet, except for the soft chirping of crickets and the occasional hoot of an owl. The tall trees seemed to whisper secrets as the moonlight filtered through their leaves. Maya walked carefully, the soft moss under her feet muffling her steps. Just as she began to wonder if she was lost, she noticed something unusual ahead. A faint shimmer. As she got closer, she saw it was a path made of glowing stones. Could this be the way to the magical garden? She whispered to herself, her heart fluttering with excitement. She stepped onto the glowing path, which seemed to brighten with every step she took. The path led her to a clearing, and what she saw took her breath away. Flowers of every color glowed softly, as though they held tiny stars within their petals. Tall trees with silver bark stood proudly, their leaves sparkling like diamonds. In the center of the clearing was a pond so clear it looked like a mirror, reflecting the starry sky above. The entire place felt like a dream, and Maya could hardly believe her eyes. Suddenly, a tiny voice called out, "Welcome, little one." Maya turned to see a tiny creature no taller than her hand perched on a glowing flower. It was a moon fairy, her translucent wings sparkling like frost in the moonlight. She wore a flowing silver gown and smiled warmly at Maya. "You found the magical garden," the fairy said. Maya asked, "Why does it appear only at night?" Her voice filled with wonder. The fairy chuckled softly, because some wonders can only be seen when the world is quiet. This garden is here for those who seek it with kindness and courage. The fairy beckoned Maya toward the pond. As they stood at its edge, tiny glowing lights began to rise from the water. They swirled gently in the air like stars come to life, creating a magical dance of light and reflection. Maya laughed in delight as the lights twirled around her, filling the garden with a soft, golden glow. "You are part of the magic now," the fairy said. When it was time to leave, the fairy handed Maya a tiny, glowing seed. "Plant this in your village," the fairy said. "It will grow into a flower from this garden, so its magic can always be with you." Maya held the seed carefully in her hands, thanking the fairy with a smile. She followed the glowing path back through the forest, her heart full of wonder and her mind replaying the magical sights she had seen. Back in her cozy village, Maya planted the seed in a small pot by her window. In just a few days, it grew into a glowing flower, its petals radiating a soft, golden light. The light filled her home with warmth and joy, and soon, villagers gathered outside her window to marvel at its beauty. Every time Maya looked at the flower, she remembered the magical garden, the sparkling pond, and the kind moon fairy. She smiled, knowing that a piece of that wonder would always be with her. And so, the magical garden's glow lived on, bringing light and happiness to everyone in Maya's little village. Good night, little dreamer. May your dreams be as magical as Maya's adventure